Okay, Daniel, now we're going to talk about your job because you graduated in May and it's only July, the end of July 2013, and you have a job. Can you tell us about it, how you got it, and maybe can you tell us what it has to do with Spanish?
Yeah. So I'm currently a bilingual HR assistant for an HR consulting firm called Tandem HR, and I got the job actually the week of graduation. Um, I had been applying for jobs pretty much the whole year, though not as intensely the first semester, and I saw a job posting in LinkedIn for a bilingual HR assistant. Read through the job description and what the duties would entail, and kind of realized like this is exactly what I want to do. It's using my Spanish. It's working in a professional kind of corporate environment. So I applied for it, meaning I submitted my resume on LinkedIn. And about a couple weeks later, my mom called me and said, "You applied for the HR position with Tandem." And I said, "Yeah, it's looked really cool. It's something I'd want to do." And she told me that one of her friends had been consulting there, and that she could pass my resume along to the woman who was in charge of hiring. The next day I got a call, and she said, "We have a stack of resumes, 400 resumes, and we don't really have the time or resources to go through them right now, so if you want to interview, we can interview via Skype." And so I ended up interviewing with them a week later, and at the end of the interview they offered me the job, and so I was kind of freaking out because I had not, I mean, a week before that I was planning to continue working retail in Champaign, so I was very excited. And I went in the next Monday for an orientation, or did kind of like a meet and greet style thing to meet some of the people in the office. And so I met people, realized that I loved some of the people that I would be working with, and I loved the environment they had and how welcoming it was and how much they wanted to help me with professional development, but also to help me use my Spanish and continue developing that in a professional capacity. So I accepted the job and was told that I would start 2 weeks later, which worked out because I left the next day for Honduras. And I've been there for 8 weeks now, and I've already translated an employee handbook into Spanish, which was a very rewarding but very time-consuming task. And I work in the employee relations department as well, so I will help out when Spanish-speaking employees need to call in for assistance with their payroll or just any type of HR-related questions.
Daniel, in your cover letter, in your resume, in your interview, did any of your experiences with the Barcelona program, the Honduras program, or maybe even the Spanish in the community, did that ever come up? Were you ever able to sell yourself with those examples?
That was actually almost everything that I used for the interview. It did require a lot of preparation. I went through and spent quite a few hours going through potential questions that they might ask and how I would answer those questions using experiences. What they ended up doing was going through my resume and just kind of asking me about each point that I included on there and why I chose that over something else. So I did talk about Barcelona a lot. You find that when you're abroad, you kind of experience a lot of things that are great leadership opportunity examples, and also people want to know that you can adapt to change. In a workplace, you are pretty much changing every day, and we're going through a lot of changes at work right now too, and it's every day they're kind of like, "We're not sure what you're going to be doing next week, but we'll let you know as soon as we know." And that's a lot what it's like studying abroad, because you're getting there and you have people who are helping you out, and there's definitely a lot of support, but pretty much goes week to week until you have a routine down. So being able to say, while I was abroad, we did this, and then it changed, and I had to do this instead. This is how I handled that. Having that concrete example was definitely beneficial during the interview. I had not gone on the trip to Honduras yet, but it was a fantastic example with the fundraising, because that was something that I had to do on the side of finishing school and dealing with graduation and also searching for a job. And so having that kind of coordination of different tasks and responsibilities was something that I think that they also were looking for. And then just being involved at school, having leadership positions, being able to work with people, especially when you have a team-focused job, which we're very, very team-oriented, so having that extracurricular experience was important as well.
Bueno, te felicito, Daniel. Me parece muy bien, es un buen trabajo y tú vas a tener mucho éxito en tu vida profesional, estoy segura, segurísima.
Gracias.
Chao.